Meta attendejt il-launch oriġinali tal-Opel Insignia fl-2008 din kienet ġabet magħha design language kompletament ġdida li eventwalment effettwat ir-range kollha ta' din id-ditta. Dik il-karozza fl-2009 ngħatat it-titlu ta' Car of the Year u alla volja f'suq verament kombattut u diffiċli inbijaw xejn anqas minn kważi 1 miljun waħda minnhom. Sa ftit ġranet ilu, meta eventwalment issa ġiet ippreżentata t-tieni verżjoni tal-Opel Insignia. L-2017 hija sena importanti immens għall-Opel għaliex tħabbar li ħajjippreżentaw xejn anqas minn 7 modelli ġodda. Għal dan it-test drive ġejna Frankfurt il-Ġermanja u kellna wkoll l-opportunità nżuru Rüsselsheim li hija belt sinonima mal-Opel. Fil-fatt hemm il-produzzjoni prinċipali u l-post fejn għal xejn anqas minn 120 sena inbnew il-flagships, l-aktar modelli importanti ta' din id-ditta. Fosthom kellna l-opportunità naraw il-kapitan, l-admiral u d-diplomat li ovvjament kien hemm modelli minnhom irrestawrati li stajna ngawdu. Modell ieħor li stajna nammiraw kien l-Opel Monza li huwa concept car li fil-fatt jirrappreżenta ċiklu ġdid fid-design language tal-Opel. L-Opel Monza jirrappreżenta wkoll nefqa ta' €9 biljun li l-Opel investit biex tkun tista' tipproduċi dan u l-modelli l-oħrajn li qed nantiċipaw fix-xhur li ġejjin. It-tlet fatturi prinċipali li ffokat l-Opel fuqhom meta ġiet biex tiżviluppa l-Insignia ġdida kienu ovvjament id-design ridu karozza li toffri emozzjonijiet qawwija kemm fuq barra kif ukoll fuq ġewwa, id-driving dynamics, karozza li tagħtik pjaċir fis-sewqan u t-teknoloġija. L-Opel ma tippretendix li l-vetturi tagħha jikkompetu fil-premium segment, biss l-intenzjoni tagħha huwa li tagħti uġigħ ta' ras lill-karozzi li jinbijaw fil-premium segment u dan billi tikkrea karozzi li huma estetikament verament sbieħ. Joffru ħafna spazju, għandhom ħafna teknoloġija u karozzi li għall-volja għandhom dawn il-kumditajiet kollha il-prezz tagħhom mhuwiex tal-premium segment. Ħaġa oħra li jiffokaw ħafna fuqha hija dik li jsejħula cost of ownership li jfisser li apparti il-prezz inizjali joqogħdu attenti li l-klijenti tagħhom la jonfqu ħafna fejn jidħol konsum u laqqas fejn jidħol maintenance għax il-karozzi huma reliable immens. Il-modell li qed nippruvaw illum huwa il-Grand Sport li fil-fatt kif taraw huwa coupe styled 5-door hatchback. Biss urawna wkoll l-Sport Tourer li hija verżjoni fejn għandek saqaf daqsxejn iktar roli wara wieqaf ħafna spazju fuq ġewwa. Id-disinn jirrivolvi prinċipalment fuq il-proporzjonijiet u hemmhekk l-iktar li sar xogħol fuq f'dan il-mudell il-ġdid. Ħan nisimgħu fi kliem il-Chief Designer ta' din il-karozza eżattament il-proċess li għaddew minnu biex ħarġu b'dan ir-riżultat. Stefan, where did the original inspiration for this new model come from?
The inspiration for the all-new Insignia is coming from the Monza. In 2013, we showed a Monza concept on the Frankfurt Motor Show. And that concept was meant to be the new essence of Opel. Lighter, more agile, and it takes the form language of Opel design into another step, into another level, inside and out. There's a couple important lines to us. For instance, this chrome line here is clearly derived from the Monza. It's a line which is stretching from the door mirror over the roof in a nice shapely line and ends in this very sculptural three-dimensional tail lamp.
But it has a function apart from looking good.
It has an important visual function for us because the car grew and the car has more space inside. So we raised the roof actually a touch in the rear. We have a more functional tailgate opening. We have a better load over height. We've added a lot to make the cars function easier, but it shouldn't show it so much.
The design on the front is common to both models. What are the highlights of this design?
Well, the design needs to show the proportions, the great proportions also from the front. When you stand in the front, you do see the roof is a touch lower, and it shows really the wider proportion of the car. The bonnet is a bit lower, the grille is moving down on the bonnet, so we take the eye further to the road, and it just shows the great stance of the car.
Obviously, one of the challenges is having a beautiful design, but still retaining good aerodynamics. How did it work with this new model?
Well, the lowered roof has an advantage because it ducks down in the wind. So we're still one of the best in the segment with 0.26 CV value. That's still one of the best in the class.
The image behind us can help our viewers appreciate the effort that has been made on the inside of the new Insignia.
Yes, well, the main thing about the interior has been to give it a calm and driver-oriented atmosphere. Everything is tailored to the driver, built around the driver and built around the central touchscreen. The idea was also to clean up the car. We have less buttons, less switches, and when you enter the cabin, you will immediately feel this airy experience, and especially in the two-tone version, where the upper part of the instrument panel seems to float. The black part, which is always black, to not reflect in the windshields, seems to float on top of the light and driver-hugging environment.
One thing I noticed when I opened the back door of the car was enormous space. I actually thought that the front seat was up front, but then I went and I could sit in front, so very, very spacious inside.
Indeed. And although the car is lower by some 30 millimeters, we have like about 10 millimeters more headroom in the second row, 20 millimeters more knee room. And the overall dimension right now is one of the best in this class or even in higher classes.
Today there's a lot of effort on ambient lighting and finishes, materials, etc. How did you tackle that?
We've designed the ambient light, which always sits on the decor as a 1 millimeter precise line to kind of like show you where your driver area is. It sits underneath the cockpit and has a nice emotional line in the doors.
A lot of effort on driver orientation and more of a cockpit styling.
Indeed, it's clear cockpit style. The whole interior architecture has been built around the driver, built around the touchscreen. And even more, we were criticized sometime that we have many switches and buttons in the car. So we tried to reduce it to a reasonable amount. The rest of the buttons we've actually organized in a functional layering. So on the first layer, everything you see, your instrument and the main center screen. The next layer down is everything you hear, the radio, the infotainment system. One layer down and also physically further forward, you really cannot mix up one with the other, is everything you heat, your comfort. So if you're heating or cooling the car or the seats or the windshield, all the heating elements are in one central island, just like the light switches are always on the left side. And last not least, the driver assist systems like chassis tuning or parking aids, lane departure warning are around the shifter, located where you would expect anything that is about driving and precise operating with a vehicle.
L-iktar affarijiet li affaxxinawni huma l-attenzjoni għad-dettall. Araw daqsxejn id-design elements fuq quddiem, il-winglets per każu biex jagħtu iktar dera ta' wisa ta' aggressività. Anke per każu l-grill, il-grill maħduma minn żewġ tipi ta' finish differenti u għandha din id-design elaborat. Apparti minn hekk l-iktar challenge li kellhom kien propju il-fanali. Għax il-fanali għalla volja id-design oriġinali kien vera dejja allura rridu jżommu miegħu. Biss dawn huma forsi l-iktar fanali sofistikati li jeżistu fid-dinja tal-karozzi. Fil-fatt din is-sistema jisimha Intellilux LED Matrix u t-teknoloġija warajha hija relattivament sempliċi. Inti hawn ġew għandek Matrix, għandek essa xibka ta' l-iktar LEDs sofistikati li jeżistu fis-suq bħalissa. Għandek xejn inqas minn 32 LED. Mbagħad għandek kamera fuq li l-ħin kollu qed taqra ċ-ċirkostanzi fit-triq. L-idea hija li tagħtik dawl massimu il-ħin kollu. Fil-fatt, jekk m'għandek il-ħadd quddiemek fid-dlam, apparti l-LEDs, mbagħad għandek dawl ieħor u jagħtik sa 400 metru ta' dawl quddiemek. Biss imbagħad kif tiġi karozza per każu fid-direzzjoni opposta, il-kamera din tidentifika u li tagħmel huwa titfi numru ta' LEDs biex ma jiġix dawl direttament fid-direzzjoni tal-karozza, biss il-bqija tal-erja ta' quddiem u l-ġnub tkun mixawla totalment. Aħna tkellimna mal-espert li kien involut biex jiżviluppa din is-sistema. Ħanaraw x'kellu xi jgħid. Can you give me a bit of detail about the technology that Opel is using in its lighting system?
Yeah, we have a full LED headlamp. We have every function in this headlamp executed in LED technology. And one of the key elements is the matrix system. We have LEDs which are individually controllable, and we can adapt to many traffic situations. We can adapt the beam pattern in any kind we want. Everything is camera controlled, and the driver has to do nothing, just enjoying the system and the good lighting.
And although when you're looking at the headlamp, you seem that there's movement inside, you explained earlier that there's no movement at all, actually.
Everything is done by solid-state LEDs, and we just switch them on and off one by another and create this visible movement, driver experience on the road. And all this gives us the best possible light distribution on the road in any situation, and the driver enjoys full high beam all the time, but the other traffic users are not glared.
Biex nikkonkludu fuq id-dawl għandek ukoll il-possibilità li tipprogramma sekwenza ta' movimenti tad-dawl meta perkażu tiftaħ il-karozza bir-remote control. Allura jekk tkun qiegħed ġo xi car park u għandek il-ħbiebek miegħek tista' faċilment timpressjonahom. Ħaġa interessanti wkoll li ħabbru l-Opel huwa l-exclusive program li jfisser li għandek numru kbir ta' xelti li tista' tagħmel fej jidħol kulur, fej jidħol l-intern tal-karozza, l-alloy wheels, etc. U ikkrejaw sistema li sejħula Choice and Toolbox, allura inti tidħol f'ġo microsite u tista' tagħżel ir-rimmijiet, il-kuluri, etc. u tivviżwalizza dak li fil-fatt tkun ħatordna mingħand id-ditta. Ħaġa li żgur impressjonatni hija l-aħbar li f'karozza li hija mass produced wieħed jista' jagħżel il-kulur personalizzat tiegħu. Jekk għandek xi ingravata favorita jew il-mara għandha xi nail polish favorit, tista' tagħżel il-kulur tal-karozza biex ikun identiku għal dak il-kulur. Inti tagħtihom sample jagħtuk wieħed lura bil-prodott li ħajkunu jisbaw il-karozza bih u jekk inti taqbel eventwalment il-karozza tiġi f'dak il-kulur. Nifqgħu hawnhekk għal din il-ġimgħa biex nagħmlu appuntament tal-ġimgħa li ġejja fejn nkomplu nagħtukom aktar informazzjoni verament interessanti fuq l-Opel Insignia ġdida.